We good to go?
Are you ready?
Awesome. Welcome. We are ready to have, I hope, a very terrific time, not only this morning, but also through the weekend as part of the National Hackathon, the City Day of Hacking. I think it's a terrific event. We think we have some pretty interesting things to showcase. The county's involved in a transportation initiative where we have some data that we provided for the hackathon. HART and the Tampa Bay Expressway Authority provided some data for us to use in this effort. And Carboyant has outfitted a couple of county vehicles. We think this is going to be some of the future technologies that you'll see, we hope, right here in Hillsborough County. We want to help develop it and make sure it becomes a reality, not just for the county, but really for the world. We truly want to be world class in everything we do related to information technology. So we have a couple of folks who are going to talk a little bit more about what's going on, not just today, but also later on this weekend. First, I'd like to call up and thank Dean Jason Smolin. Dean, come on up. You are the Dean of the ITT Tech Center, Kansas City, so thank you, please.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to welcome everyone to today's event. ITT is excited about hosting this event and also about hosting our second annual hackathon this weekend. As you all know, we've been an asset to the Tampa Bay technical community for over 25 years at this location, training folks to go out into the technology workforce. We're glad to partner with Hillsborough County this year and also with Doug DePerto from Castle Rock, who will be talking in just a moment. He'll be explaining more in detail the hackathon event. Again, I'd just like to thank you all for coming out. We like the community outreach, and we like offering you guys our facilities whenever you may need them in the future, so feel free to call us if any of your needs. I'll introduce Mr. Doug DePerto from Castle Rock Information Services now, and he will introduce the overall hackathon. Mr. DePerto. Come on.
Thank you, Jason. Good morning, everyone. First, on behalf of Tampa Hackers, I want to thank Jason and ITT for hosting us, Carboyant for sharing their technology and their data, Hillsborough County for their backing, and Commissioner Sharp's office for their backing as well. National Day of Civic Hacking is a national event that was started last year. Basically, it came up out at the federal level, and the idea was how to get the citizens, the community, more involved with federal, state, and local government to try to take all the data that's out there and get back to the community, make something more useful both for government and the citizenship. So this year we have over 100 cities nationally, thousands of people who are going to be involved, government agencies, businesses, nonprofits, just civically engaged organizations who are coming together to solve complex social problems at both the government level and the local citizen level. Let's see, the events that we're holding here is going to be a hackathon. In addition, other cities are going to be having unconferences, maker events, opening up free spaces, and block parties. As I said earlier, this year we're teaming up with the county and with Carboyant to put together some local county projects, some county challenges. We're looking forward to the projects that they're going to come out of that. With any luck, we'll be able to take the data, the county data, and put together some useful applications, put together some useful data that will be a benefit not only to the county, but to hopefully the greater community at large. So basically, this is a call out to the Tampa Bay community, to anyone who wants to be involved, entrepreneurs, specifically minded, designers, developers, technologists, and just free thinkers in general, to come out and be part of the hackathon to make a difference in your community and get back to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. And Saturday, so I'm really looking forward to that. You know, if I have to bring in my VCR and maybe help me keep that going. That would be awesome. I would love that. Yeah, you know, old school. Next, I'd like to invite up to the podium someone who really doesn't need much of an introduction. County Commission Chairman Mark Sharp. Chairman Sharp was instrumental in putting EEI2 funding together for this event. We think that this is an absolutely terrific example of how the government can help incentivize great ideas. So, Chairman, come on up.
It's an honor to be here. This is incredibly exciting. I apologize for being late, but I was speaking to Tampa Bay Technology Forum just a few minutes ago, and some of the largest companies in the Tampa Bay region are part of this group. The conversation was about how they're going to make technology more relevant to our community. How Tampa Bay is going to become a top 10 community in the nation. When you talk about tech jobs, high-wage jobs, you mentioned places like Silicon Valley, obviously. Talk about San Francisco. You hear about Boston and Austin and all these other communities. You don't hear a lot about Tampa. But Tampa has a lot going on. And when the Tech Forum folks were together, they're saying, well, you know, we've got these companies here. We got others that want to come here. We've got small startups that want to grow, but they need help. How do we help them? And what I said was, well, I'm going to be leaving here to go to a hackathon. And they all know when I say hackathon, you know, at the county, everybody thinks it's something, you know, nefarious. You know, the commissioners don't quite work trying to figure out what is a hackathon. But they're beginning to understand because they're hearing about the National Day of Hacking. They're hearing about events like this all over the country, but you don't normally hear about that happening here in Tampa Bay. So first, I do want to thank Lindsay Kimball, Stephanie Ashley, and the rest of the wonderful staff for putting this together. Lori, I mean, everybody, I now have to start now listing every name, so I don't miss a name. Eric's going to be mad that I didn't mention him. But I want to thank everybody who was part of putting this together. And I really do mean this before we've got a phenomenal staff. You know, I would talk about what it would take to get a company like, here's today's paper, Google. This car needs no steering wheel. We're talking about how Google is going to be putting the autonomous vehicle. They're going to start selling them next year. Cars with no steering wheel. Now, when I would talk about bringing Google to Tampa, I get these looks like, well, why would Google want to come to Tampa? What do we have to offer? Is it really important to us? Of course we want companies like this coming. And so when we've got our staff understanding that in order for us to compete with these other communities and win, we're going to have to become relevant to what is occurring right now all over the world and become more relevant to the really incredible smart people like the folks from Carboy, Renz and others, who are shaking things up and would love to shake them up right here in Tampa Bay. And they love to turn to the talent at ITT and say, you know, when you graduate and you really want that, you don't have to go somewhere else. You can do it right here in Tampa Bay. And so I want to thank the staff for having the smarts to put together an EDI2 program which supports programs like this. I want to thank staff for recognizing that if we're going to keep our best and brightest and attract those that we want, we're going to have to do hackathons and a lot of other events like this. And we're going to have to be able to partner with great partners. And I want to from HART, the Expressway Authority, ITT, and everybody else, the county, everybody that's now we're going to work together as a coalition to let people know that right here in Tampa Bay, we've got some big things happening in technology. And that's what the Tampa Bay Tech Forum wants to hear. That's what the companies that are part of the Tech Forum want to hear. And they're listening. And so when they start building their companies, they're not going to be looking elsewhere to hire. They're going to know the talent's right here. I also will add, there was a cool article in the Wall Street Journal today as well. Growth hacking helps startups and users. Once again, I mean, this is all in the news. These are just today. It's happening every day, and we're a big part of it. So I want to thank ITT. I want to thank our staff. I want to thank Mr. Horda for being here. I want to thank Carvoyant and Rents who's going to come up here right now and talk about what he's going to do. We got 2 cars that the county is providing. They're going to have, are they going to be driverless cars? Take the school Not quite yet. Yeah, well, you know, I heard this, gosh, who would want to get into a car where there's no steering wheel, where there's no driver, I'm like, okay. You can get into a car where you got that, or you can drive where everyone's doing this as they're driving. I would much rather have people not looking at their, I mean, seriously, everyone's looking at their iPhone? Okay, how about you just look at your iPhone and the car takes care of it? Well, the technology that we're building is going to do some really cool things. And that's why this hackathon and dealing with car tech is so important, because we're going to let people know that we're here and we're going to talk to them about all this stuff. Brad Feld is the paper, you know Brad Feld, the guru of startups, was at Boulder, and he was saying that the startup community is incredibly disorganized, and that's not a bad thing. So we're good because we're disorganized as well. So our community can be just as disorganized as everybody else, but he also said, be loud. Be loud. Talk about what you're doing. So I would hope that our from the county and everywhere, we get the message out that we're doing this, and I'm telling you, we're going to shake up the world. And thank you for being here and helping us. Renz, why don't you come up?
You know, I told my father-in-law about the hackathon coming up, and we started launching on this golf club. There's still some education that's going on about what's going on. So Carbone is thrilled to be a part of this. And when we take a step back and look at the bigger picture that the Commissioner was talking about, there's some amazing things going on in automotive tech. Right here in Tampa Bay, we've got, of course, USF's Hunter Center for Urban Technology Research, and they've also launched this Autonomous Vehicle Institute to study the autonomous car. And FIA has also got the approval to study the autonomous vehicle right there on our own expressways. And wedged in the middle of this is Carvoyant. And what we are, we're enabling technology that allows connected car development to be easy. So what that means is when you think about the connected car, let's quickly go into a little commercial about Carvoyant to understand what we're looking at here and how we're going to use these vehicles this weekend for the hackathon. If you think about the connected car, it's a lot like what happened with smartphones. It used to just be a phone you talked on, and then along came Apple with this environment that allowed developers to create applications that connected that phone with all crazy different areas of your life that you never thought you needed, and now everyone needs. We look at the vehicle and say the same thing's going to happen with the vehicle. As that merges with autonomous vehicles, that vehicle is going to need to be connected to parking. It's going to need to be connected to service. So that when the check engine light goes on, that message gets sent out to service centers. It needs to be connected so that when you're sitting in a restaurant and the battery's draining, it ought to let you know that you left the lights on. These are the kind of things that our system allows to happen. And so we're excited to be a part of this hackathon because our data then can be tapped into by these developers to match that up with other data that's being presented by CART and the other government agencies that have a whole wealth of different kinds of data. These developers are fantastic. They come up with unique, innovative ways to use that data and match it up together. So what we're doing right here, we're not going to show the speed today. So you're all right. So right here we've got animal control van that's right out here. We've got a little device that looks like this. And it's no bigger than this. It plugs into the onboard diagnostic port in your vehicle. It's by legislative law meant to be open and accessible on all vehicles built since 1996. There's a little SIM card in it, similar to what a cell phone has. And it takes that data off the vehicle, sends it to our servers. We do some massaging to it, present it to developers that want to create applications. Perfect for hacking. These developers then access that data, and it's data like speed, GPS location, fuel level, fuel flow rate, so you can start analyzing fuel efficiency on these vehicles, find out if there's a more efficient way for a vehicle to get from point A to point B, find out where it's stuck in traffic. There's an accelerometer in there that you can actually find out, hey, there's a dip in the road, maybe there's a pothole that needs to be repaired. So throughout the weekend, we've got a couple vehicles that the county will have driving around town, and it ought to be interesting to find out where there's maybe a missing cab. I asked if they go after alligators, but apparently they don't.
how exciting all of this is. We are, as I understand it, the only county that is providing this level of transportation data and taking the initiative to partner during this hackathon. So we're very, very grateful not only to the ITT folks, but also Carboyant. We think this is a leading edge way for us to demonstrate that Hillsborough County is indeed world class. So we're looking forward to this weekend. We think it's going to be an exciting time. I know that this has relevance because my 20-year-old, 19-year-old, and 18-year-old were all coming this weekend. And they thought I was really cool for bringing it to their attention. So, I guess that's really awesome from my perspective. So we won't be polishing the golf clubs at all. We'll be right here helping kick off this wonderful event. We're looking forward to seeing you all. I know we're going to have some demonstrations. So looking forward to it. Please don't hesitate to ask those questions. We'll be happy to answer them as best we can. And we look forward to partnering with the community over this weekend. So thank you very much.